Hi, this is ShamanWeaver Sheila Baker. I'm here with Liz Muschett, and welcome to March. So this year has just been zipping, it's like marching along, right? So what have
Exactly.
we got to look forward this month?
Well, this is kind of a busy month here in March. We have daylight savings time, the full moon in Virgo, and Mercury stations direct all on the same day on
Finally,
March 9th.
yes.
And then we have um, Mercury stationing direct, and I already said that one. And then we have the spring equinox on March 19th, and then we have a new moon on March 24th. So we have a lot going on this month.
So how do we apply this information to our lives? What can we do when Mercury goes direct? I feel a big relief because for me, the way that I think about Mercury going direct is communication inside. So I've been doing a lot of dialogue with myself. What do you want? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to serve? And what does it look like? So is that part of the new direction?
Yes, and I would like start sorting through all those emails that you haven't gotten to, all the information. Maybe you have a stack of paperwork to go through, or um, maybe you have paperwork to sort through and get rid of. I don't know. But it's like now it's like start working on that. And when all the planets are in direct motion, that's like a move forward, go, go, go. Um, we started out the year with Uranus retrograde for the first 10 days of the year. And then we had all the planets in direct motion. And then Mercury went retrograde in the middle of February. And then March 9th, we have Mercury going direct. So all the planets will be direct until the middle of May. So I think we're all going to be pretty busy moving forward and, accomplishing some goals and finishing up old tasks that maybe we've had laying around.
So Mercury and the other planets, so like Venus and Mars, and they're all direct now.
They
So
will be starting March 9th until the
okay,
middle of May. So,
okay. So we have about what is that, 10 weeks or something
yes,
to really utilize this energy of motion. And over the winter, sometimes we stagnate out, right? And does this tell us that it's time for us to get out as well?
oh, yeah, it's like telling us to get outside and start making some plans for things that we want to accomplish, perhaps in our garden, maybe, clean out that garage or that shed that's outside and just get rid of it, or collect your tax information if you haven't done so already. Especially after Mercury goes direct, collect all that information and get it to your tax person, or sit down and do your taxes yourself, even.
Yeah, earlier today I was talking about doing some feng shui in my garden because I have a ley line down there that's a portal, and I have just kind of ignored it. And I thought, oh, I could just curve this little snake like path down to there. So I'm right on track, right?
Oh, yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. So I want to start out with that March is a universal monthly number of seven, and seven is a spiritual number. It's about music, taking some time for self, or even a short sabbatical. So,
A little mini vision quest, even.
oh, absolutely.
Even if it's just for an afternoon. And if this is really for yourself, don't think about it in terms of self care because that's this is diving deep. So you could even do like a little 4 hour vision quest for yourself where you unplug and you plug into you.
And with that seven energy, you can use the law of attraction too. So, um, go out there and start manifesting. Write down your ideas, your dreams, your visions.
And they ought to be big, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't
Because
have
this
any
is,
limits.
yeah,
No limits.
and this is a foundational year. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you start with a small dream and you're building a foundation, then you're going to have a beautiful foundation for a small dream. But dream bigger. So get your foundation down and then add a layer and get that down. It's like pouring concrete, right? So you'd pour the concrete and you'd let it set. Then you'd pour some more on top and then you pour some more on top. so that you actually start to build sort of like a pyramid of dreams. Oh, I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like don't worry about how you're going to get it done because you
Uh,
might say, "Oh, well, what I want to do, I need $50,000," and maybe at this moment in time you don't know how you're going to get the $50,000, but focus on the dream, and then later on you can focus on how to manifest somebody to invest in you or the money that you need for that project. Kind of do the steps of how they should go along and with the energy of the planets and the moons and the tides, as we might say.
so I one of the things I heard about us is that we have high how-itis. We get stuck in the minutia of trying to figure it out before we've even fleshed out our big dream. We start, well, how many emails is that going to take, or what's that going to take, or how am I, how. So when you find yourself doing that, just press your fingers together, take a breath, put it over your heart, and just hold on for a moment. Because you don't have to know how to have
Mm.
things happen, right?
Right. Not to start with anyway. So it's like have the dream and then you can figure it out later. Or it might just come to you putting the dream out there. Just saying it or writing it down might make it happen. So this full moon is the energy encouraging us to get out and about. Maybe start making a plan of how you would want your garden to be, or maybe you're going to want to paint in the spring or the summer. It's like maybe you want to start looking at the colors that you would want to choose from. There could be some rebalancing between work and home life. Maybe you've been spending a lot of hours trying to finish up those projects. Well, start making time in your calendar to spend some time at home or with family or even just time for yourself.
So
So,
that fits in perfectly because the 20th and 21st is right around spring equinox. So I'm offering a retreat then, and I'll tell you more about that so that you can use that time for yourself to really build on this dream that you've got. And oftentimes we can't really build on our dreams while we're sitting in the middle of our homes and there's all of that energy going on. We've got to go away. We've got to retreat, right?
yes,
And
yes.
so I'll let you know more about my 2 days in March for gathering together and building this beautiful dream. Awesome.
And the Sabian symbol for the moon is that you may feel like a move is coming or some new thoughts or a new way of being and possibly even a new life. Fresh opportunities and potential are out there. So, maybe you're planning your retirement. How's that going to look? Maybe I have to work more time, or maybe I can retire sooner, or maybe you're going to do a move and move closer to your children, and maybe the cost of living is a lot more reasonable there, and so then you can retire earlier. It could be any number of things.
So I also think, people are asking me, what's my purpose? And I think this is a good time to repurpose yourself. When we think we only have one purpose, then we get limited because, well, what do we do afterwards? You have many, many, many purposes in your life. And this is a beautiful time for you to start looking at what they are. If you were a young mom, you can be done with that. Then your purpose becomes something else. So when we think about just one purpose, we kind of get locked in. So it feels like we have a bunch of freedom here to really look into what do I want? Who am I? What do I want? And who do I serve? And how does that serve me?
Yes, exactly. And then the Sabian symbol for the sun is all about gratitude for the things that you have, your
Ah.
friends and acquaintances, and just having your needs met. So, like, gratitude is really, really important.
So that's a beautiful foundation for when you want to build something. You give gratitude, seeing the vision already complete. And so, yeah, that's lovely.
And then also on March 9th, we have Mercury stationing direct in the evening, and that full moon happened early in the day at 10:48 here on the west coast of the United States, so Pacific Daylight Time, or maybe it's Standard Time still, but but then we had Mercury stationing direct that evening, and the Sabian symbol for that is a butterfly emerging from the chrysalis. a complete emergence into a new life. So we have this energy of newness coming. So it's like, I really want you to focus on finishing up things, or make a plan to finish them up so that you can move to your new dreams, your new desires, your new way of being.
So there's a something about the completion before moving on, even while you're dreaming. You want to
Oh, yes.
tidy it up, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think we have to finish things. It's like, you could own your own business and maybe you've decided your kids don't want it, or what you thought you wanted to work for another 10 years. Maybe you don't want to work another 10 years, and maybe you're going to close it down, or you'll just give it to somebody, or, who knows? It's like it's time to reevaluate on all levels.
Ah, and what a beautiful time to do it, where it's spring, things are coming up anew. And, I was talking to somebody about putting sunflowers in their yard, and they said, oh, we don't have to worry about that because we have squirrels, and in the squirrel food are sunflowers. So their sunflowers are just going to come up randomly. But if you don't want your sunflowers coming up randomly, this sounds like it's a really good time to make a plan.
Yes,
Oh, I
yes,
love that.
exactly. And then we move on to the spring equinox, astrological new year, and a new season begins on March 19th at 8:50 in the evening. The sun moves into the sign of Aries. So we still have some energy of evaluating what our needs are, what our desires are, what we need to finish up. Maybe make a list or have one in your mind of the things that you want to attend to, and maybe pick two or three to work on at a time instead of having 20 and going, oh, that's so overwhelming. It's like narrow it down and pick a couple, work on those, and then you can shift other ones up as you have time.
Yeah, it's that thing that we talked about, I think it was last month, where you focus on four things, and when you complete one, then you I call it ta-da. You have a ta-da, and you take it off the list and move something else up. So there's always four things. I think we think, well, I'm going to be done with that, and then there's going to be a gap. But in actuality, that's not really how life works, right?
No.
So you get this ability to really be planful, to make priorities. I call them, some of them, non-negotiables. I really love non-negotiables for work, non-negotiables for relationship, non-negotiables for business, for cars, for life. You can have non-negotiables for everything. And it seems like this is probably a good idea to launch into this before, just after Mercury goes direct and before the equinox.
Yes, if you can, or start working on it. It can take some time to make it all happen. It's like
Oh,
you
you
don't.
know me, I just want to sit down and do it.
But you're not like everybody, so we all have different ways. So it's like you might want to take some time and really evaluate it. So it's like, deciding if the bottom line looks okay. It's like maybe you don't like how your bottom line looks. It's like maybe you've decided, my house is too big and too much to take care of, and this yard is a little bit more than I want to take care of. And so, that can be part of the evaluation process. But, really finish up on some of those projects to make room for this new stuff to come in. It feels really, really, really important to do that. And it feels so good when load up your car and take it to the Goodwill, or, pass it on to somebody, pass it on to your cousin's kids that, that they need some extra things, or they can have fun going through it. And if they use it once, okay, they use it once and they have fun.
Yeah, and they can give it away. So one of the things that you just tapped into that I think is really important is, if we've had a style of doing something, like, I like to knock it off. And I tell people, write your story, give yourself a half an hour. Just write the whole thing, and then we're going to burn it. But maybe you're right. Maybe half an hour isn't enough time. So maybe it's time to redo your style of how do you do things, and look back past the past 10 years and have a look at, oh, how did that serve me? Am I in right alignment with what I want to be doing now in 2020, which is that foundational year, right?
Yes.
And I love that, because I'm not necessarily known for I'm very patient with other people, but not so much with myself. So now you just gave me a lot of freedom that I don't have to knock it out of the ballpark in just a short amount of time. So allow yourself to have that same freedom. Do that self-care. Come to my retreat and, get a reading and really take these things into account for creating this new lifestyle that we're actually beginning. I mean, this is a new decade,
Yes, it is.
and we're creeping into the first quarter of it. So have a think and a look at what's working out for me. How do I feel about it? Am I joyous? And does it make my heart sing loud, boisterous songs? And if that's your joy and that isn't happening, sounds like we're in really good alignment to take that direct action to create something brand new.
Oh, absolutely. And for some, it'll be a lot easier than others, but I encourage you to not lose patience with yourself and just keep at it. Last year, it was Marie Kondo of helping you clean out your house. It's on Netflix. And, for those of you that are having a difficult time, it's like they tell you to have gratitude for every item that you have. And if you don't love it, let it go. And I love her philosophy in that. So.
Yeah, and I hear it's like hold it up. If it makes your heart sing, then it's yours. If it doesn't make your heart sing, and it's a Yahoo yes thing. I had a colleague who, if it wasn't Yahoo yes, it was no, and that was that's it. Who would ask if she wanted to go and do something, if she just like just a minute. Yeah, oh yes. Otherwise, it was no. So you get to dictate this for yourself. You get to craft this in a really beautiful way with all of this amazing energy. So is there anything else?
Oh, yeah, we have a new moon on March 24th in
Ah,
Aries at 4 degrees, and that's at 2:28 in the morning. And the Sabian symbol for that one is spiritual integration. So I believe a lot of people are, waking up to a spiritual path, and it could even be a new path for them, or even going deeper with the path that they're already on. A lot of communicating and putting your intentions out to manifest those desires, because there's a lot of manifesting energy with this new moon. Um, it's also all about me, myself, and I, meaning you. So take some time for yourself of something you want to do. Do take some self care, because if you've been busy working extra hours, you might just want to like block out a half an hour or go get a massage or a pedicure or something. Um, be sure and write your intentions down. Super, 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 super important. And you can also include your long range plans, because it feels like that we're working on things that are, can be this year, 3 years, 5 years, and, include some stuff even 10 or 15, 20 years out. That's fine. So if I had a magic wand, and I could grant you 5 wishes or desires, so start working on those, because, I think you can manifest them. So, and the possibilities are limitless, and dream really, really big, please.
awesome. So the thing that I like about desire, we often feel guilty for what we want. And the way that I look at that is desire is of the Father. So if you take the message that Spirit, God the Father, how great spirit, and you realize that you're the only possibility for spirit manifesting. So when you have a desire, when you have a want, don't scrunch it down. Don't make it small. Make it as big as you can envision, and then move into that. Imagine that this is spirit moving through you, so that you give up the idea that you have to feel bad about what you want. And we have all this beautiful energy in March to really, this is corny, to really march forward and to look at your non-negotiables, to look at your big dream. You don't have to figure out how to get there. You don't need to lay down the steps, but it is get it out, write it down, and then embellish it. Um, I go for simplistic, but really what I've been coached is that if I go for just these 5 things, then I'm really stealing from myself, and I'm also really stealing from you because I dream small, and if I'm dreaming small, how can I help you dream big? So you're dreaming big for, I'm holding your dreams of all of this manifestation that we have thought is really important here, and we bring those dreams to you. So we hold your dreams for you as you begin to craft this for yourself. So any tips other than you just told them to dream big, write it down? Anything else?
We'll get out and have some fun this month. I think that's important. And if you would like to contact me, you can reach me at liz@alightpath.com, or you can contact Sheila and she'll tell you how to get a hold of me, and vice versa.
Or
And
look for us on Facebook.
we look forward to serving you in the near future.
Great. Have a great spring, and we'll talk to you next month.
Bye.
Bye.